Well, here we are, our first official garden tour of 2023. Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Kayla and this is 5 Canadian Acres. I'm gardening in a zone 3 in Alberta, Canada. Today is May 13th, so we are basically at our average last frost date and the forecast is looking good, and we actually have not had a frost in the last couple of weeks, so a lot of stuff that I planted early or the perennials, things that self-seeded, are growing really strong. So let's go take a look. Right inside the gate here we have our spring garden. This is where I planted most of my spring things, and everything is growing really good. Here on this edge we have peas. These are the sugar magnolia, so they're a purple pea. And then all along the back there I planted a sugar snap pea, and I did not get the best germination. All of this in front is a romaine lettuce that I had actually saved seed for. It's planted very close together because we're just going to cut it and let it grow more. We're not worried about it forming the heads. In front of that we have an Easter egg mix radish, and they're growing strong. And then here we have some spinach. This is the Monstro de Viroflay, so it's a very big spinach. It's growing really well. And then beside that we have French breakfast radish, and nothing's really bulbing up yet, but they're growing nicely. And then here on this side in the back we have, this is a black seeded Simpson lettuce, which I saved seeds as well. And then more spinach. This is the double choice hybrid. And then radishes, these are the amethyst radish. You can see a little bit of flea beetle damage, but they're growing out of it and they'll be okay. And then we have some pansies that I bought because my flowers don't really grow when I start them from seed. Over here along the back we have more peas. These are a snow pea. This side is actually seeds that I saved, and that side are seeds right from the package, so both the same germination. Here radishes, we have a scarlet globe radish. And then I planted some radicchio here and nothing really sprouted. So instead my son and I planted just some more radishes, and then as well a row of orach. So hopefully that'll sprout up here soon. And then here we have more radishes. Again, these are seeds that I saved and I had really good germination, so that's really nice. I can't remember what radish I saved them from. We will see what we get. Here are more radishes. These are the Crimson Giant, so they'll get really big. And then on the end here these are onions that I had from overwintering last year. And I just planted them hoping they're gonna grow, and then they will produce a big flower and some seeds, so I can save those for seeds for next year. And these are all the new beds that we have made and put in. As you can see, we got a nice pile of soil over there. We've topped these up and nothing's planted yet. That'll be kind of the next round. And then we kind of revamped this area here as well. Took the fence out for the extension, and I have planted, you can kind of see here, this is all ranunculus in each of these all the way around. Nothing, the back I have to pull up. None of my mint made it through the winter being in those little spaces, but we'll plant something up on the back. Back up top here, the chives are growing really well. They're already starting to form little flower heads, so those will be blooming soon. In the bed, we have carrots. This whole bed is all planted in carrots. And we have more pansies. Nothing has been planted in this bed yet, but down at the end here, I did plant some chamomile. That's a green onion that's overwintered. As you can see, we got lots going on there. Here, these are garlic. My husband was rototilling the front bed and found a garlic bulb I missed from last year. So I just separated it and planted it, and we'll just, even if they form little bulbs, we'll get some garlic there. I did plant a few of my onions here. They're starting to grow. And then this all still needs to be topped up and planted. Oh, and here, this craziness, this is all spinach from last year that self-seeded. I had spinach that grew here, went to seed. I actually messed a bunch with the soil this spring, but all these seeds still decided they wanted to sprout. So we will have a good couple of salads there. From here we can go down, look below. I did have a couple of beds down here last year that I've ripped up. All these pots, I did throw a couple of potatoes in that we had extra just to get some early potatoes potentially. This, I had some cilantro that was struggling. I just planted it. Hopefully it'll come around, as well as some tarragon there. These blueberries, my rose bush did not survive the winter, but my little apple trees that I planted just from a random seed survived and are thriving. Well, this one's thriving, but this one here has got some leaves as well. So we have a couple of little apple trees here. Grape bush, we go down right here. Got a leafing out already, so that's nice. This here I'm just kind of letting go wild because, as you can see, we're going to expand here. This is all just going to get torn up and redone, so we're just letting that go. And then we have a blueberry bush here and one here, and a little guy down here amongst all the weeds. That looks like they are leafing out. That is all horseradish, which came back. I planted that last spring, so it's looking really good and thriving. And then the tulips, of course, are blooming. They just opened up probably 2 days ago. And I have a few more yet to open up there. Cherry tree made it through the winter pretty good. I'm getting some nice leaves coming out on that, and it looks like we'll get some flowers fairly soon. Strawberry asparagus bed is doing really well. We are already getting lots of strawberry flowers. Maybe in another month or so we'll be eating strawberries, but we have been eating lots of asparagus. This guy's really little, so once they start coming up this small, you stop picking them, but if they're basically larger than a pencil, you can pick them. We have all these guys down here. I'm not sure what happened. A lot of the strawberries in this area did not make the winter. As you can see, there's tons here, but just really nothing there. So I have some extra that have thrown off runners, so I'm just going to transplant a few extra right there. Over in these beds, I have a red Russian kale. A lot of these seedlings were struggling, but once I've planted them in, they are thriving now. These are a early Copenhagen market cabbage, which is growing up really nice. I had one little broccoli start here from before that's growing up, and this is a red express cabbage, and then we also have one purple kohlrabi that made it. In this other bed, these are all a tiara cabbage, which I got a few of those and they grow really well. Empty bed over here is for my broccoli. A lot of my starts died, but I did start some more seeds that are just about ready now to be transplanted. And then in this last bed, this is all my Chinese cabbage, which is doing really well. You can see they had a lot of flea beetle damage, but now they are growing out of it. They're past the point where they're gonna get decimated, so now we're gonna be able to enjoy some nice Chinese cabbage. And then again, I planted some of my extra onions from last year, hoping to get some seeds. Over in this bed here, I have to just top that up and then plant stuff. But at the very end, I have some evergreen bunching onion that have overwintered and just thriving. So now we have basically green onions every spring. We've been enjoying those. From there we go over to my other tulip bed, which again, this one actually just opened up today, but the rest of them are starting to bud up and they're going to be blooming very shortly. Of course, people say mint family are very hardy, so we have 2 little things of catnip, and then the yarrow has come back. Not sure, a lot of this other stuff is weeds. This is our warrior cat garden herb bed, but we'll see what comes up there. I don't think my lavender made it through the winter, which is kind of sad. I do have a lot of other lavender started, so we'll just have to replant. This is just kind of our staging area for a lot of things, because this is all going to get redone as we redo, like maybe a walkway into that back garden. This we have tilled. Now I just need to go ahead and shape the beds, and I think I'm going to plant my tomatoes here. We'll throw up some trellises. I lost a lot of my carrots to my dogs last year, so we just put up this fence we had from when we had pigs. It's not on or electrified, but it is enough just to kind of keep them out. But we'll go in here and see. In these 2 rows here, we have done peas all up along the trellis, and then on each side we have carrots. And if I go over here, we can see that peas are starting to come up, and the carrots are just starting to sprout periodically. You can see a few. On this side here, these 2 rows are potatoes. I did a modified rootstock where I kind of put the potatoes in maybe a couple inches in, and then I just covered it all up with more straw. This side still needs probably a little bit more mulch on it, and I planted those about 2 weeks ago. Nothing has come up yet. And then those next 2 rows are my garlic, and it's looking really good. Again, this has to be weeded. You can see the difference between weeded and not weeded, but that garlic is looking really nice. Then we come over here to these 2 big rows, and here I planted beets, and they are starting to sprout up here. I did a whole row of Merlin beets, and then the other side is a Detroit dark red beet, and then the end there is a golden beet. And then here I did rutabaga, and you can see they're sprouting as well. These ones are the Eleanor rutabaga. After that is a Laurentian. And then at the end here, which we have really good germination, these ones are all a turnip. And then as well down each side here, we planted more carrots, because this year is the year where I want to have way too many carrots. Indents, we planted potatoes. I planted Yukon Gold that we had from last year, as well as another white potato that I got from the Hutterites over in this. I'm not sure what kind it is. And then in the front here, we planted some summer squash. We've got a yellow and a green zucchini here. And then in this section here, we have a cocozel, as well as the patty pans that we really like. Nothing's in this last row. We're gonna do our pumpkins again here and let them grow out. This year we put some tin and pallets down. Worked really well last year. The grass did go through, hence why we're doing the tin this year, but that worked well. Over here is where we had our 3 sisters last year, and I wasn't going to use it, but of course I always need more space. So this year we're going to plant more squash out there as well. That's what's growing on in our garden here in mid-May. We have been harvesting. We've got some asparagus, some onions already, and we're not far off from radishes, lettuce, spinach, and really starting to get those bountiful harvests. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can follow along all summer with these garden tours, and you can see how much we can actually grow here in Zone 3 short season garden. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.